It surprised me a bit because, again, I thought the perception, right, from the experts and fans was the Vikings, it wasn't that they weren't talented, but that they weren't maximizing their talent under Mike Zimmer. They were underperforming in a lot of key areas, given the players and skill sets they had. So to see them all the way down at 19, a little disappointing, a little surprising, but I didn't expect them, again, to be in the top 10, but again, middle at 14, 15, 16. So rest of the NFC North shapes up like this. Packers 5th in talent, Lions 25th, Chicago Bears. I don't even want to say it, Reggie. I'm starting to feel really bad. All I
you
do
just
is
love
rip
beating
on the
up
Bears,
on
man.
them. Goodness gracious,
30th
dude.
in the
Give it a
league.
break.
Hey, 30th in the league. Not bad. Room to grow, right? Only can go up from there. Here's the top 8 on the list. This is interesting because Bills number 1, Bucks 2, Chargers, Rams, Packers, Browns, Eagles, Bengals. Here's what's wild to me. Everyone has the Chiefs to win that wild AFC West. But from a sheer talent level, the Chargers are 3rd in the league according to this list, while the Chiefs aren't even found until number 9. That's wild. Also, the Browns, excuse me? Ravens are 12, Steelers are 22. Wild stuff going on here. What sticks out to you the most on this list outside the Vikings?
Well, that they have the Bills number 1.
Yeah.
Like,
start there.
Okay, we get it. Like, the Bills have a lot of momentum. You know, signed Von Miller.
Yep.
Gave Stephon Diggs the big contract. Like, they have a lot of talent all over the field. And so I get that part. They did lose their offensive coordinator. So we're wondering how that's going to affect them. But they have all this hype coming into this season about being a team that is expected to compete for a Super Bowl this year. And it's just interesting that they gave them the number 1 ranking when, look, that division has come and gone with what the Patriots are doing for the longest time. And so now you're saying that the Bills are just by far ahead of them. And you're just like, I don't know. That man Bill always got something up his sleeve, you know? And I also think that the division got better as well. You know, the Jets had an incredible draft.
So good.
You're wondering, you know, if Zach Wilson is going to take a step forward, because last year you saw some flashes of some good things. And then you're like, well, I'm not really sure. I do know that when the Bills play the Vikings this season, that is going to be probably the toughest, if not one of, probably the toughest game that they're going to play.
Right. I think it's the toughest
next
game on the
season.
schedule.
Yeah, the 2 times that they're going to play the Packers is going to be tough.
Yep.
But like, man, look, there are people that are already picking the Bills to beat the Rams in Week 1. The Rams won the Super Bowl.
Right.
Like, dang, man. Like, I think the hype is real for this team, and that's probably the biggest one for me. It's funny too with just how much people are buying the Bucks because Tom Brady came back.
Sure.
Like, I don't think they have this number 2 ranking if Brady is not there, because I don't know if they knew who was going to be the quarterback if Brady wasn't coming back. And so that part makes it really interesting. But the Chargers, man, I watched this team last season when they played the Vikings out in LA. And for sure, they have a lot of talent. They added Khalil Mack to the defense, and that's scary. But like, man, something about this team, it matters not who the coach is. It matters not the assembled players. They have all the talent. Justin Herbert is one of the most talented quarterbacks in the league. They got him at number 3, talent-wise. But somehow they're just going to get a wild card or something like that.
Right,
because that's just what the Chargers do. Like, they barely snuck into they tried to sneak into the playoffs, but couldn't, to beat that Raiders team, which I think they had much more talent than that Raiders team.
Yeah, you don't call a timeout with a minute 30 left, and then probably go on to tie, and then both teams get into the playoffs. Yeah, goofy game there. Yeah,
exactly. But it's just like, this team, for some reason, the Chargers are going to charge us. So, you know, put them up there, number 3, all you want. I think it's kind of funny that they put them above LA's other team. But, you know, it is what it is. And it's funny, too, because, like, for all that the Packers lost on offense, they still got that number 5. I think it's the Aaron Rodgers effect. They put a good defense, or they're building a good defense. It remains to be seen how good that defense is going to be. We'll find out on week 1, but they're building this defense around Aaron Rodgers, and Aaron Rodgers is still the guy. But he's throwing to guys that are largely unproven in that offense. Randall Cobb, he's older. Sammy Watkins hasn't avoided the injury bug the last several seasons. He's looking at this as like one of his last chances to prove what he has. Christian Watson is a rookie. Alan Lazard, maybe the most dependable, I guess, there. But, he had Devontae on the other side. Let's see what happens when he's not, drawing some favorable matchups from the defense. So we'll see what happens with that. I just think it's interesting. They just put him at 5 because of this defense, but that offense, they're just trusting Aaron Rodgers a lot.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers effect, much like you mentioned, Tom Brady effect with the Bucs at 2, Chargers at 3. That whole AFC West, man, probably just going to beat each other up. And we'll see who the last man standing is at the end. How about the number 1 seed in the AFC last year, the Tennessee Titans? Number 20 on the list, 20th most talented team in the league.
That's about right, man.
Number 1 seed in the division last year. They lose A.J. Brown, and all of a sudden they're picking, in the top 12 next year, apparently, to the list.